Soul Silver 17 here. Let me get through this like usual. Non-paid video. I made the thumbnail. I just don't have the pictures. All right. Okay. So it's just ignore that I messed up in the beginning. That's gonna happen because I didn't wake up that long ago. So I'm gonna be probably not thinking right with my words, like how I wanted the story to go in this part. But, so, yeah. Anyways. So, I mean, I'm continuing on with the story. And, well, I decided to make it just, it's going to be part 5, but it's going to be, like, really part 4, second half. I just didn't put it down because I was tired last night. Like, first part, I got 1 out of 2. So, I'll just go back and fix the title. Yeah. Anyways, though, let's continue on with this story. So, as I last left off, we had Shadow, aka Zuko, get his anti-gravity sneakers, along with him giving the speech, and Amy and Sally got together, so, yeah. That's the thing. Basically, I'm trying to say is, they just were about to start the race. They were announced. So let's just continue on with this. Alright. So, just me clear my throat. Sorry. So basically, after midnight announcements it, everyone, because it's an obstacle course / race, everyone's like kind of excited for this. Todoroki's looking at everyone, and well, Sonic is just grinning. And basically, Amy just says, "Oh no." He's like, "What? What's wrong, Amy?" He says, "Sonic, he's gonna think, oh, I'm the fastest thing alive. So, this is gonna be an easy one. Let me guess, he's gonna show off a little bit. Me cocky? Mm-hmm. Good. There's something I need to be testing out again. I haven't done in, years. I never had a chance to do it. I was told never to do it again. So, it's gonna be fun." Which Amy's like, "What is it?" He goes, "Oh, you'll see. It just allows me to increase my speed." She's like, "Wait, you can go faster?" Then, it's gonna be pretty fun. He's like, "Alright, just let some people win." He's like, "Nah." She just sighs, but, then she smiles. She's like, "Alright, just beat Sonic then." He's like, "Will do." He puts the thumbs up. So, when everyone's getting ready, people are basically all lined up in the front. And Amy was about to, but Shadow stopped her, and he says, trap, back. She goes, "Oh, okay." So, that's what they do. And everyone, when the time goes on, basically what I mean by that is, when the time, for them to start is, everyone's running in and getting trapped in the entryway. Which, Todoroki freezes everyone, but, Shadow saw this, so he just grabbed Amy Browsell, jump up in the air, and all of a sudden, he just starts hovering. Basically, all the ice gets everyone besides Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and, some people in Class 1, they do get stuck still, but they'll get out pretty easily. Like Bakugo. So Bakugo basically sees this, he's like, "Oi! Shadow!" He's like, "Huh? Wait, is Amy Pomeranian actually talking to me? Okay, that's new." He's like, and he remembered my name. He's like, "Yeah, what is it? Bakugo Katsuki, you should remember it." He's like, "Nah, Pomeranian's better." He's like, "Whatever. Look, just win this thing, alright? As much as I hate to say this, you're the one that can beat that blue jerk." He's like, "Jerk? Well, I call him a jerk, but he's really just cocky and pisses me off." It's like, okay, gotcha. So when he lands, he puts down Amy. He just tells her to be careful, and she goes, "I will. And what about you?" He's like, "Well, God bless." I think he just basically just disappeared. Like, as soon as he said that, he just disappeared from her eye, but making a red, line not red line, orange line that shows that where he's running, he's basically, when he gets near the kids, he jumped over them onto the wall, runs on it, jumps off, and keeps running. Sonic already was gone. He already freaking left, as in the go ones. He already did this. So he's already in front. But basically, we're going to go to Sonic, and what Sonic is. Sonic is running past the 0-pointers. He's basically thinking, this is too easy. I'm going to get first place pretty quick. As almost like he just sees someone right next to him. He's like, sup? Like, Shadow, how are you? He was like, didn't you forget? I am the ultimate life form. This was nothing. And besides, look at the 0-pointers. As then, when he looks, he just sees them all being all destroyed. Like, he was, wait, you had time to destroy them and catch up? He was like, I just spin dash into them. They were in my way. Where she's like, no way. He's like, oh, come on. Isn't the blue, hedgehog trying to outmatch everyone in speed? And yet, you don't train that much. Where she's like, so? I mean, what's the point of training if you're gonna, if your name can basically take you places? And besides, it's not like me and my grandfathers or my great-grandfathers or my great-great-grandfathers' enemies are ever going to come back. Which, basically, Shadow seeing Fleetway again, he's just looking at him like, I want to kill this kid so badly. He's like, that's where you're wrong. Huh? What do you mean? He's like, all the enemies can come back unless you kill them. But since your great-grandfathers grandfather never did, or even your father, who knows? And besides, you aren't the fastest one alive. Which is like, why you? And then all of a sudden, orange electricity is starting to come off of Shadow's body, basically. He's like, okay, before you guys say anything, this is kind of a reference to the Flash, but it's also because of the boost. I'm making it where this is, instead of like in the games, you don't have like, you just have the effect where there's like just like a dome of the energy that Sonic and Shadow make. And this one, it's going to be electricity. Why? Because I kind of like it from the movies, and it works good with the Flash too. The orange is a reference to it, and it makes sense since it's based on a red streak that he makes. I mean, not red streak, orange streak. So orange, lightning. So, yeah. And also, kind of reference to the movies. Anyways. So, Sonic's like, what the? How are you? Quill's blowing? This is when I'm about to, do a burst of speed. So, I love sticking around and chat, but I got juice. And he goes like, did you just steal my freaking catchphrase when I was a kid? And he just, burst. Like, just basically running so fast. Forward faster than Sonic can even see. And he's like, he stole my catchphrase when I was a kid. And he just running, trying to run faster. So, Shadow, this is when they were getting to the way to the canyon where they had to jump onto platforms or rope. He just runs across the rope. He just gets over to the landmines and just jumps over that pretty easily while doing a front flip. Lands and then proceeds to get finished. And all his time, basically, his hair was glowing a little bit, but as soon as he gets there, everyone just sees electricity coming off of him, and then it just disappears. And he goes like, whew, I haven't done that in a while, actually. So, I don't want to shock because the time is they beat the best. I mean, they beat the record. Shadow beat the record of Sonic's father. This timeline, Sonic, which Sonic's father is in there, and he's just shocked by this. How is this possible? Actually, no, wait. Every generation, of course, gets stronger, but, I wonder, could our son do this? Isn't this basically his, this Sonic, the father, Sonic, he's Mom says, I don't know, but how is this even possible for someone to have the same type of quirk, but that isn't supposed to be right. He was like, no. So, after that little thing, Sonic arrives in second place, and he's like, thinking, ow. And he just sees Shadow crossing his arms, closing his eyes. And basically, when everyone gets there, he just, opens them. In which Bakugo kind of grins, and he does, saying, hey, Shadow. Huh? Again? What is it? He's like, you may be strong, but I may be stronger than you one day. Understand that? He's like, what? Am I your rival or something? He was like, maybe. I don't mind. I can always use more competition. I'm bored most of the time. With the crimes here, it's like, I can finish them with just a snap of my finger, and it's so boring. Ugh. It's like, thanks. Wait, what do you mean? He's like, oh, yeah, I don't mean you being the villain. I mean, like, competition. Who can do the most work? He's like, oh, gotcha. But yeah, anyways. I heard from Amy that you asked about me. Why is that? I was like, oh, I was just going through some old photos of my parents, and it turns out like a long time ago, I don't know why, there was a note saying, basically from the age of quirks started coming around, that someone knew you, but it was as a Zuko. Which, he's like, okay, yeah, that was my name, but how? Should be like, my parents didn't have many friends, and if they did have any friends, they didn't like them very much. He's like, why is that? He's like, oh, well, parents were upcoming heroes, so it's like, oh, yeah, I was just born quirkless. It doesn't really matter. I mean, by the way, if you guys are wondering, Bakugo and him are talking like to themselves, like basically no one can really hear them unless you go near them. And well, since since Bakugo heard that, he's kind of shocked. But anyways, he goes, well, I couldn't really tell much because everything was faded. I could tell you like something Azuku, something. He's like, huh. I guess, well, yeah, that's true. I even forgot about my last name too. But you're like, how could you, like, it's been how long? So I like to forget about my past, so, like, oh, sorry about that then. It's like, no problem. Anyways, you gotta get ready for the next event. This is gonna be boring. He's like, come on, it can't be that bad. As in, basically, Midnight saying, alright everyone, here's the thing, we were going to be doing the cavalry battle, but now we decided to do something else. A 3 versus 3. Because this still requires teamwork. And everyone's cheering, and he's just like, huh. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm going to then have a little problem, since I think most of the people hate me here. And well, they say, and well, basically we already chose the teams for you by basically drawing the names. He's like, okay, now this is just pre-squad made, and now, oh my god. Hopefully I get some good people, or I'm gonna have to carry my team. Bakugo's like, extras, am I right? He's like, okay, for once I can agree with you, besides Amy and Knuckles and Tails. He's like, okay, yeah, even I gotta admit, they're pretty nice. Hang out with. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, if you guys are wondering, if I'm making Bakugo kind of the same, but also different, yes. I figure, why not make him, since there was never a Zuka Midoriya? He did get an ego but let's just say he find a reason why he should keep it under control. And remember only people's names that he thinks are good to remember. Which, well, he does. He basically, that's how he is now. He finds people that are interesting, or, he should remember the names, he'll remember. But he would be calling people extras because he thinks, that he's better than them, but also because they're weak, and they're just background characters sometimes to him, or in general, just, well, not worth his time in fighting, but they could be worth something else, so, yeah. I don't know. Anyways, after they see the teams, Bakugo gets Kirishima and Knuckles on his team. He was like, looks like I got a pretty good team then. Like, good luck. Thanks. And then for Shadow, Amy Rose. And let's just give him someone that's gonna be very, very funny. Rouge the Bat. He's like, you know why? I think because he never worked with Rouge yet. So he's like, oh, I got my teammate. Okay, now I see where you're going. So, Sonic's team is just Sally and Tails, basically, and himself. Yeah, I just don't say the leaders because that's just way more easier. I say the two teammates and then you get it. But anyways, so everyone gets their teams. And, well, everyone's going to be fighting each other in, basically, Cementos makes, like, little areas for them to fight, which then cameras appear for everyone can see. Basically. And everyone's, like, saying, this is going to be so cool. I mean, I can't believe that Shadow Kid. He's so fast. I mean, then when the girl's saying, yeah, and do you think he has a girlfriend? I mean, some viewers were probably saying, yeah, some were saying no. Others were saying, like, geez, simps. And some guys just don't really know, so I'm just think about, like, how could someone be fast? Because the Sonic name is kind of, always known to be fast. So, they'd be kind of shocked. But anyways, so basically, Shadow's versing against Mina, Ayama, and Double Arms. He's like, well, Shadow's team basically versus them. And he's like, nothing personal, guys, but we're gonna win this. Which Ayama's like, doesn't say anything because of scared. And he's like, trying to be confident, like, we're gonna win this. He's like, oh, stuttering. Look, I'll give you an easy chance. You surrender, and we don't have to hurt you too badly or at all. So, in which Dubois like, Mina, we should really give up. She's like, no, we have to win. And he's like, can we just, not hurt them too badly? He's like, and then Shadow does lean in and whispers, like, I know, that's what I'm trying to do, but they don't want to give up. Well, at least Mina doesn't. She's the captain of their team. So, and then Rouge is saying, how about this? You stop time around them, I fly them up, and we get them over the wall, because it's like a little arena for them to fight in that Cemento's made, so he's like, good point. As in all of a sudden, the Chaos Emerald appears in his hand, which means like, what's that? He goes, time stop! And he stops time around them, which everyone's like, and he goes, you know what to do, Rouge. So she goes over to them, she goes, no hard feeling, guys. So she lifts them up in the air and puts them, flies over the wall, puts them down on the other side. And, team was eliminated. Mina, Ayama, and, So, their team was eliminated. And which everyone shocked with Cemento springs on the wall, he unfreezes them. He was like, I told you, could have took the easy option. She was like, but that was an easy option, right? He's like, yeah, but I mean, frozen in place. Is that really a good lose? Basically, Michelle just walks away, which, I mean, they kind of thinking no, but still a good lose without getting hurt by him. And Amy just walks over to him and is like, are you not going to say anything else? He's like, what? I mean, they lost pretty badly. I mean, I froze them in time. And also, I'm trying to make sure they can, well, have the confidence to keep going. She's like, huh? Watch this. This is what I was about to say. Also, actually, then he looks back at him and is like, hey, maybe if you get stronger, you won't be able to get frozen in place anymore. So, try to work better on your quirk and your physical capabilities. Besides, you're in Class 1A. You have to improve a lot more than this. Understand me? Which they just look at him, and they do not. It goes, so, become the heroes that you want to be. Or, at least, what I know you can be. Got it? And basically this kind of like, tears them up a little bit, and they do nod again. And then basically they just Shadow just walking away. And he's just like, he can bring them down, and he can just bring them up. What is this, boot camp? But that was in her head. Because he works for a military worldwide, So she just wanted to make that joke to herself, and she laughs at it. So basically, some people who are not in the fighting battles are, in there. Some people who are. So basically, we're only going to be focused on Amy, Sally, Tails, Knuckles, because he got in, and Sonic. Those are the people that we're going to be focus on. So, yeah, anyways. So, what happens? Right. So basically, after everyone wins, it's time for the fight. So, first person, Shinzo versus Shadow. And, well, when he basically... Before, when it was announced, though, they were basically had a little bit of time for waiting room. Basically, Shadow was in there with everyone else. Bakugo says, hold on, I'm downstairs, that's why, hold on. Sorry about that, guys, but anyways. So basically, Bakugo said, oi, I'll beat you. Understand me, Shadow? And he basically, Shadow looks at him with her eyes, just looking at him with the raised eyebrow. He's like, oh? Really? You're not. And then even Todoroki says exactly the same thing. Basically declaring war on him. And he just like, do you know who you're messing with? I am the ultimate life form. Just because I have my, uniform on, not with my guns, doesn't not make me... Well, no, not uniform. Yeah, wait, I remember he's just wearing a black shirt, pants, sneakers, gloves, and rings. His fingers, gloves, and rings, basically, and he doesn't have his guns on him. Because I think I would not... That would be just too broken if he'd wore them. You know why? Imagine. He could basically shoot a blast that's in the yellow, and someone could just knocked out. Basically. So, yeah, anyways. Which, basically, they say, we don't care who you are. We're still gonna win. He was like, show me a challenge then. Alright. Besides, I'm up first. So, he gets up and starts walking out the door. And everyone's like looking at him, are you serious? And he's like, you're like, what? We have to prove we're strong. So, what's better yet to prove to the ultimate life form? To defeat the ultimate life form. I meant to say. So everyone's just like silent. And Bakugo and Todoroki says at the same time, so they look at each other and then they nod. Which is a very weird occurrence and rare as ever happened. So, when Shadow gets out, it's basically just him just waiting there. Shinzo's right there. He was like, "So, you're Shadow. I don't know much about you. And didn't even know about you even coming to UA. And even being in Class 1A. How annoying that is that they just let someone transfer into that class without even proving himself." Hold on. Alright, sorry. This is going to be happening a lot. But anyways. So, as I was saying, Shinzo says that, and the match hasn't begun, and Shadow's just like, he really is annoying. What is he trying to do? Get me riled up? Jeez. What's the purpose? I should probably use chaos energy to focus all around my body, including my mind, so that way I can disrupt whatever he's gonna do. So, he does that, and no one notices it because it's, very, well, it's not like he doesn't want no one to see it. It's not like, he's charging up, everyone can see it. It's like he can just, focus it around his body and it's, invisible to everyone else but him. Or, actually, no one else can see it. Not even him. But he knows it's there because he can feel the energy. So, basically, Shinzo just keeps on talking about how such a great quirk you have, blah, blah, blah. And, well, he's like, and then Shadow just really just says, "You're done talking?" Which he's, "Ha! Got you!" As Shadow does feel a little twitch happen in his head, but it's nothing. It's like, huh? What's that supposed to do? Tickle? Which Shinzo's like, how? How is that even? He was like, oh, you're something to do with mind control or brainwashing, I guess. Pretty interesting quirk. Nice. But that doesn't work on me. So, this is a done deal for you. You're gonna lose. So, I'll make this simple. As then all of a sudden, one little ball of chaos energy comes into his hand, and he just shoots it at Shinzo, which hits him in the stomach and sends him flying out of the arena, knocked out. And, well, he looks to his side and he notices a couple of agents there from Gun. He was like, so they also scout out people, huh? Interesting. He goes over to, walking over to Shinzo. He basically heals him whatever damage he had and also wakes him up. He's like, did I lose? He's like, yep. Simple blast, simple chaos energy blast. You were knocked out pretty easily. Actually, anyone would. So, yeah. He's like, I failed. He's like, don't sweat it, kid. You're fine. It's not like it's the end of the world. So, get up, dust yourself off, and train harder. Okay? It's like a good motivational speech. He was like, I wasn't trying to. And I don't need to do those. I'm not a, hero type. As he just, he's just walking away from Shinzo. Shinzo is confused. Hero type? But why isn't he in Class 1A then? Or even in UA? This is a hero school. So, as basically he's walking along to his, to the class, when he gets there, I want this scene to happen. As he's walking along to the stands where the class is, he sees Amy. Well, not Amy, just watching from a corner. As in, he goes. Basically, he goes, "Amy, what's up?" She's about to scream, but then he covers her mouth. He says, Sorry, but what are you doing? She was like, easy, trying to find out if, well, Sally and Sonic are gonna do something stupid. He's like, or say something stupid, huh? She's like, it's the second one you're trying to find out. She goes, it's like, alright. So basically he sees it, and it's just him and Sally and him are just talking. And, well, then they do kiss, and he looks at Amy real quick, and she does have tears about to, basically have. The tears are just forming in her eyes, but then she closes them and moves them to the side, and in her head she's like, nope, you don't feel anything for him. He's just a jerk. We didn't even notice you. So, it's like, Amy, are you fine? Yeah, I'm fine, Shadow. And, well, he basically just grabs Amy, runs over to an area, or to a locker room, basically his rain room, and he just says, come on, let it out. But she goes, shit, Zuko. I'm not Shadow the Hedgehog right now, or Shadow. I'm just a Zuko. She goes, alright. And then she starts crying for the next couple of minutes. And afterwards, she just stops. She goes, thanks, I needed that. It's like, it's no problem. Anything for you. Anything for a friend. And he just smile. She does nod. And they get back to the class, which Amy and Sally are there. And everyone's saying, basically someone just asked, oh yeah, Kaminari asked, so, Shadow, what took you so long? And he's like, had to use the bathroom. Met Amy on the way back, and I kind of got lost, so, like, everyone just looks at me like, really? He's like, what? Remember, this wasn't around when I was, And they're like, yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. So, anyways, there's one in. And it's just basically Tetsu versus, Kirishima. They say, we think Kirishima or Tetsu? In which, well, Kirishima wins. Finally. He's like, well, there's our answer. Kirishima. Which everyone's like, okay, that was just not pathetic or anything, but that was just like the weirdest fight ever. I was like, yep. Anyways. So basically, Amy is next. She wins her fight pretty easily. It was against Ibarra. Reason how she won? Well, she threw her hammer at her. And that was sent flying. So, yeah. Tails won his match pretty easily. And Knuckles defeated his opponent. It was Tokiyami. He defeated him by just going through the ground and uppercutting him. Sally defeated Ida, and Sonic defeated Ida. Sally defeated Monoma. So yeah. But continuing on, the next fight is Todoroki versus Sonic. And Tails versus Knuckles versus Shadow. Aim versus Tails. Sally versus Kirish. Well, okay. Sally versus someone else. Some random, probably Momo. And then Bakugo versus Kirishima. So yeah. So basically Sonic wins pretty easily against Todoroki. He basically just blitz him and boom. Punches him in the stomach, sends him flying. But the thing is, Todoroki also, stopped himself and froze half of the arena, which his feet did get, you know, frozen Sonics. And, well, this was a case where all of a sudden his eyes glow orange and fire happened. Well, basically, some type of energy was coming off of him, and then he basically quickly stopped it, but threw out chaos energy, a chaos blast, basically, you know, from his hand, and sent Todoroki out flying. Which Sonic's like, how did I get stronger? Which Fleetway, the Fleetway that's part of him was like, oh, Jesus, come on. This kid thinks he did it on his own. If I didn't try to take over, we would have lost. So, even his parents noticed this. And basically, his father's like, dear, I'm gonna go talk to Nezu. Seems like our son, well, hasn't been focusing on his training at all. Which she does nod. So, what happens is, he goes over to Nezu and they talk, and he agreed to, well, the father of Sonic, the other Sonic, basically the older Sonic's request. So, after that, basically it's just Shadow versus Knuckles. And he goes like, I never shadowboxed before. He's like, please, you try to hit me? That's a joke. And basically Knuckles and him gets in a fight position. He's like, bring it on, Shadow. He's like, with pleasure, Knuckles. And they both run at each other and fists collide. As there's like a little bit of a shockwave, which everyone's kind of shocked, even Class 1A. Even Sonic's shocked. Knuckles basically, imagine like both of them, like they're somehow doing a Aura versus Muda fight. Dio versus Joe. I mean, not Dio. Star Platinum versus the World. As you said, that's how it seems like their fists are going because they're moving so fast. Reasons why Knuckles is moving so fast because he figured out how he can store chaos energy into his body and basically release it, or enhance his. I mean, he always could absorb it and have it. The thing is, he can enhance himself to increase his speed and strength by a lot because he knew Shadow was gonna be powerful. So Shadow is doing this because he's no longer speed and there isn't much power he has, but because of the chaos energy, he's able to do this. And in which, when they basically find one last collide, there's another shockwave. The Shadow was like, not bad, Knuckles. You did a lot better than I expected. He was like, same to you, Shadow. But he was like, but Nux. Nux! Why did you ever call me Nux? Oh, that blue idiot calls me that. And he tries to throw a punch. He dodges. Shadow dodges. He was like, but you get angry way too easily. Chaos? Rising Dragon! And he just throws the punch. And basically, he came up with this new move on the spot. And, basically, he does like the uppercut. And he goes up in there, he's flying. Basically, he launches himself up in the air while doing an uppercut to Knuckles. And for this, with Chaos Energy, a dragon appears. And, it's only for a brief moment that the dragon appears. And Knuckles gets sent flying up into the air, but he catches himself a lance on the edge. He goes like, not bad. You have a nice power in that punch. He's like, he's just thinking, damn it, I didn't put enough chaos energy into it. And so he was like, now then, it's my turn. And then basically all of a sudden he puts his fists together as, these orbs are going around Knuckles, and then basically they are absorbed by him, and then he's just glowing with this purple energy as Shadow's like, what the? And so Knuckles, for a brief moment, reappears in front of Shadow, but he's able to block him, punch. And he's like, new move? He's like, uh-huh. I learned this just because of you, Shadow. It's like, this is getting pretty interesting. I guess I should stop holding back a little. There's also chaos energy is coming off of him. And he goes, alright then, let's go! So basically, imagine this fight is going like, many people are having a hard time seeing it. And basically every punch they make is like, a collision, or every hit they make is basically making shockwaves. And this goes throughout, well, the match. Everyone is shocked by this, including Sonic. He's like, why did Knuckles come so fast? This is impossible! And Amy's just yelling at, well, finally, basically, Shadow! I know you can win! As then basically Knuckles thinking to himself, that's unusual. I mean, she only roots for Sonic, but he deserves this. And then basically Shadow gets a smile on his face. Right when Knuckles was about to, punch him, he dodges it, grabs Knuckles' face, and just sends both of them, well, him and, well, himself, down all the way back into the arena because they were up in the air. So, Knuckles gets planted into the ground, and he just says, Chaos Blast! And basically, all of a sudden, the whole entire red energy comes off him, explodes, and there's like Knuckles is just knocked out. Basically. He goes, you put up a good fight, but it looks like I won still, Knuckles. But you impressed me. So, as he heals Knuckles, and, well, he takes him over to Recover's Grove office to rest. When he gets back, Amy says, You beat him! He's like, yeah, so what? I'm the ultimate life form. She's like, but you were enjoying it, then I decided to end it? Yeah, I have a reason. And he just looks at her, and he goes, by the way, thanks for saying you believed in me. I just decided to end it pretty quickly to say that. She's like, I mean, you're the hard ultimate life form, so I know, but still I wanted to. And then he just basically pats her on the head. He's like, thanks again. And, he's actually doing a smile, basically. And, her face is a little bit red. She goes, no problem. And so, Amy loses the tails. Reason why is he flew, and he was allowed to do some gadgets. So, yeah. Kirishima lost against Bakugo. Sonic, like I already said, won against Todoroki. And Sally won against, basically, Momo. So, it's Sonic versus Tails. And basically, it has to be a three-way fight. So, basically, it's Sally, Shadow, and Bakugo versus each other. And then he's like, basically, when they announced that, he's like, they all look at each other and they all grin. So, but we go to Sonic and Tails fight. Sonic's like, sorry, buddy, like, I'm gonna win this. He's like, no, you won't, Sonic, I'll win. And basically, well, Tails almost wins. Pretty much, he threw some gadgets that would slow down Sonic, and Sonic was able to, figure out how to use the chaos energy pretty easily. But in the end, he almost lost again, but Tails was sent out of the arena. So, because he did a Sonic win, basically, and it made him, lose his balance while he was hovering in the air, and then he falls down in an arena. Out of the arena, not in the arena. So, yeah. So, basically. And when the three-way fight happens, basically Bakugo's like, yeah, he basically says, he wants to say, I give up, but he knows he can't. But Shadow just gives him a death stare, like, you even give up, I swear I'll punch you anyways. He's like, ugh. So, and Sally's looking at Shadow. It's like, so, Shadow, we meet again, but, besides in class, but as enemies. He's like, yep, how's it being so, how can I say this? How does it feel to have a boyfriend that is weak? which Sally's like, he's not weak. He's like, he's inexperienced, isn't motivated to do nothing. He acts like he's better than everyone else. Well, actually, better than people in speed. And just because his name, he thinks, oh, he can get anywhere in life without no worries. I call that weakness. Which Buckers is like, that's like me, but at least I learned that you have to respect people. And I know I'm not the strongest, but I want to prove it. So, basically, Salome just, brings out basically some tech she made while she was in UA. A suit. Yeah, basically she has like a battle suit on, but it was like not shown. But she pressed some buttons and then all of a sudden it's shown. And he was like, oh, battle suit. Interesting. Alright. I'm gonna end this. I have no time to waste on, here. And then he basically just, when they say begin, Bakugo and Sally go straight for Shadow. And then he just yells out, Chaos Control! And in that moment, they just see nothing. And they're already, they see nothing. And when everyone sees the light disappear, they just see Sally and Bakugo out of the arena. But Bakugo's still conscious. He's like, damn it! How fast are you? And Shadow is just like on the edge of the arena. He was like, how fast? It doesn't matter. All you need to remember is I am the ultimate life form. And that all that matters to you. And Bakugo was like, cocky bastard. And then he passes out. He was like, and basically he's like, cocky? I'm not cocky. I just am. Should I really pick them up? Then recovery girls, and with some heroes with stretchers come, he's like, oh great, I don't have to. Good. So he just basically is about to jump, and the minute goes like, Shadow, you have to fight your next opponent, Sonic! And he's like, oh, interesting. Let's see how this blue faker is. He really thinks just because he learned how to control chaos energy so easily for the first time, he's way more powerful. So, basically, after that, they do have a little bit of a break, and Shao just eating his lunch in the arena. He just teleported to it, got back, went back to the arena, and basically Amy is sitting down with him. In which she's like, hey, you mind if I eat? He's like, I don't mind. So while they're eating, she's like, I didn't know if you brought lunch or not, so he was, okay. It's just a sandwich. I just bought it from the store and stuff. It's like, I know, but still, here. And basically she has a bento box for him. He's like, thanks, Amy. He grabs it. He did finish, and she was already eating hers. She's almost done. So, when he basically opens it up, it's just basically rice, but with some chicken, that you can say. And, since they basically went to France, she also put some type of French meal in it. Basically. I don't know which. I don't know French cuisine, but just something that she knew he would like. So basically it was on their trip, she saw him eat it, and he liked it a lot. So he's like, you know how to make these, huh? She goes, mm-hmm. How do they taste? He was like, well, I haven't tried them yet. So when he basically eats one, with the chopsticks, he, all of a sudden his eyes, basically you can see sparkles in his eyes, and then all of a sudden he just starts to devour the food. And then because of this, he started choking on it. He's like, and then she grabs him some water. She goes, here, drink this. And then he just starts drinking it. He goes, oh God, I almost died. She's like, that's your fault for eating too fast. And he's like, I can't help it. Your food's just so delicious. You're a really good cook, Amy. Which, her face gets even redder, and, well, he goes, hey, you okay? She's, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks. Sonic never really, try my food much. He's like, well, I ain't Sonic, remember? So she nods. And so he finishes up. He thanks her for the meal. He says he'll pay her back, or he'll make something for her next time. But she's kind of shocked. He was like, you know how to cook? He's like, of course I do. And those are my life form. I'm just kidding. I learned it. I didn't know it automatically. I learned it. Or should I say, I am learning it, but yeah. She's like, oh, okay. So then basically she goes back to everyone and stands. Well, she was waiting for everyone. They were like, you're here? What happened? She's like, oh, me and Chow just ate in there. And then she just points to Arena, and everyone in the class is kind of confused. So, on why. But anyways. So, Shadow's just waiting for Sonic. Sonic gets in the arena, and he goes like, what's up, Shadow? He's like, Sonic. So, you seem a little bit more cockier than usual. He's like, aw, what? Surprised I can use chaos energy so easily than you? He's like, is this guy just stupid? He's cocky. And like I already knew, he's letting his name get to him. This gave me a pain. He was like, doesn't matter what you think, but always remember, I'm the one who had it the longest. Or should I say, I'm the one that could be able to use it the longest than you. I have more experience in it. And remember, I am an unlimited energy. And the basic cameras are on, but they can't hear what, Sonic and him are saying. So Sonic goes like, doesn't matter, I'll win this. And I'll prove to everyone why I'm better than you. He's like, oh. So, you basically are jealous. He's like, doesn't matter what you think. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm the fastest thing alive. And he's just like, when I first saw you saving people's lives and everything, you do have a noble heart, but you have too much of an ego. And you're just jealous. Everything you found out probably increased that jealousy by a lot. Which Sonic's just clenching his fist, and he's like, but remember this, we are two different people, Sonic. I only care about one thing. And only one thing only. He's like, what is that? He goes, protecting this planet and everyone on it. And the people I care about. That's two things. He's like, yeah, you're right. Okay, two things. It's like, so what? He's basically, Sonic is just looking at what he's thinking. He's getting angry, and well, Shadow can see what's happening. It's basically Fleetway whispering to his ear, basically, to, kill Shadow. And basically, Shadow's like, he's thinking to himself, he's like, so Fleetway's trying to do this. Interesting. I'll let it go. I want to see what he's planning. So, what's happened is, when the match begins, Sonic goes full speed at, Shadow, which does cause a crack in the ground, but Shadow just stopping him, and he does slide a little bit, but that's all, which Sonic's like, what the? Then he just knees Sonic right in the stomach, and he goes, come on, show me what you're made of. And then he does kick Sonic up into the air, and then with his hand, he goes, Chaos Eruption! He slams on the ground, which then all of a sudden, everyone can see just red going into the ground, and then right underneath Sonic, fire is being shot up. So, yeah. Basically, Sonic's getting burned a little. And because of, since we're going from the old, comics of, basically bringing some characters, all of a sudden, basically, you can hear maniacal laughter shadow because stress and negative thoughts brings out Fleetway Sonic. As then all of a sudden, when the fire, stops, everyone just sees sharp tooth claws, swollen eyes, basically, and basically more spiky hair version of Sonic in control. He basically in the swirl eyes. He's like, "Yes, I'm finally free, and now I can." Which everyone was thinking he's going to cause destruction. He was like, "Get out of this dumb kid's body! I am sick of living with this kid." Which everyone was like, and Chad was like, "Well, that's anticlimactic." He's like, "So we're not gonna fight?" He's like, "Oh, believe me, you can wipe out this kid in a second. So, me and you are gonna fight." He's like, "Good. So how are we gonna do this?" He's like, "Oh, well, I don't." As almost like he just disappears, punches Shadow in the face, and then flying, and then basically reappears right behind Shadow, kicks him in the back, and well, basically, Shadow, aka Zuko, gets treated like a rag doll until he gets pissed off enough. He goes like, "That's enough!" And then all of a sudden, he just glowing yellow. Basically, his hair's glowing yellow, his eyes are still the same. Which everyone's like, "What the?" Which Amy basically goes, "Go, Shadow, go! Defeat Fleetway Supersonic!" Basically, and she's just cheering them on. Everyone was scared, so people were trying to evacuate until Fleetway said that, and he's like, "Oh, you also have super form, and it seems like you can actually use it without the Chaos Emeralds. Interesting, very interesting." And he was just clapping. He's like, "What the? How's this even possible? What's up?" He was like, "Oh, this is a transformation Sonic can do, and since you're like Sonic and he can use Chaos Energy just like you, I figured if I pushed you far enough, you could unlock it, and, well, you brought it out by sheer willpower, since you have a whole lot of Chaos Energy within you in Shadow." "Oh, this is gonna be quite interesting. Give me more entertainment." And which he goes, "You crazy bastard. I won't give you entertainment. I'll defeat you." And basically they just and the fight continues on. Basically, Shadow and Fleetway are doing something like what Knuckles and him did, but it is way more intense. Basically, Fleetway shoots that beam at him, or should I just say the Kamehameha, while Shadow does exactly the same thing too, and they're having basically a battle of, basically Chaos Energy beam colliding blast. As basically Fleetway is thinking, this kid's so much more entertaining than this brat. Shadow really is better than Sonic. And until this kid ever learns to not overestimate his opponents and believe that he is weak, he won't get stronger. How could my great grandson be so pathetic? Seems like only he's worthy enough to actually control this power. So, and basically, Fleetway's charging up more, while Shadow's also charging up more, and it doesn't seem like it's ending. As basically Fleetway's above, Shadow's on the on the floor ground. He's like, "I need to use it all. I need more power." And then he realized, "I still have my Hiver rings on." In which Fleetway's like, "What's wrong? You losing?" As everyone can see, the energy from Fleetway is basically driving Shadow's energy blast back down to him, and he was like, "Do you know who I am? I am Shadow. I am the ultimate life form, and I'm gonna prove it to you, Fleetway Sonic." As all of a sudden wings come off, he's like, "Right now!" As then basically a whole bunch of chaos energy shot up inside air, and Shadow's basically cracking the ground beneath his feet as they say, Fleetway's getting hit by it, and he's just laughing. And so, when the dust clears off, everyone's shocked by it. Shadow still in his maximum power, even when he thinks, I only have a couple more minutes. This is the first time I've ever done this. Well, they just see something falling, but then also lands on his feet, and the eyes are glowing, and he just basically all of a sudden, when the dust clears, basically Fleetway Sonic is out of base form and only has the red eyes. He's like, impressive, Shadow, impressive. Which everyone's shocked by this. Amy was cheering the whole entire time and beating him, including with Sonic. So he basically Fleetway's walking upwards. Shadow's still in his super form. He's like, put back on your hibitor rings. I have a proposal to talk to you about. He's like, what? He's like, trust me, kid. If I wanted to destroy this planet so easily, I would have done so. It's like, fine. As the hibitor rings come back on the Shadow's wrist, and basically he's still in super form. And then he was like, how do I just calm down? And which he does and calms down. He's like, good. So, how about this? Since I don't like this kid very much and he doesn't let me out, he keeps on calling me a monster and everything, just pissing me off. And then he looks over to the side, he sees, Sonic's father, aka the older Sonic, and the mother, which basically that Sonic and the mother just jumped down, and he goes, wait, what? How the hell did you get out? And he was like, oh, I just used your kid's ego against him. Basically manipulated him to be my pawn, so that way I get control. And because he had so much negative thoughts about Shadow here, the stress of Shadow basically using that Chaos Eruption brought me out. And I wanted to see if he was worthy. As he points, and he's just looking at Shadow still. He says, worthy for what? He was like, oh, As then he puts on his hand, he was like, for me. He's like, what? What are you talking about? The older Sonic says, he's like, I'm tired of being a part of your stupid family as a monster that always lives inside of each generation. It just got more corrupted. It's a pathetic state, if you ask me. Well, at least you and every other generation before this kid, as he pointed to Sonic, basically Fleetway's pointing to himself, aka Sonic, were actually decent to hang around with. It's like, basically he's like, have you been helping? And it was like, oh, I tried to help this kid out, but he doesn't want to listen to me. He just calls me, shut up, monster, I don't need your help. I mean, I'm Sonic. What do you know? So he thinks I'm just something part of him, doesn't know I've been passed down from generation to generation. I don't feel like telling him. So I'd rather have him lose me, figure that out, and realize he could have, well, if he listened to me, he could have gotten even more power, stronger. Or at least something. And they're right, kiddo. Which, every generation Sonic besides this Sonic knows who Fleetway is. He was like, are you still going to? Like, I'll still visit. I mean, I'll just ask Shadow to come over and visit every so often. Keep an eye on you guys. But, hey, Will. So, Shadow, is the deal open? He's like, wait. How would I make? He's like, oh, it's easy. Just chaos transfer. I'll leave my chaos energy within this kid, into this Sonic. But my consciousness and my actual body, well, since I'm made out of chaos energy, will just come to you. Since you have plenty of it, I'll be able to reform my body in a matter of minutes. He's like, wait, how do you? He's like, I've been alive a lot longer than you, kid. I had plenty of experience with chaos energy since I am made of it. So, what do you say, Shadow? Do we have a deal? He's like, Can you teach me how to? It's like, yes, I can teach you everything I know. How to get at least a bit stronger. Even maintain super form without the Chaos Emeralds. You figure you're probably running out of it, but there's more than one state. He's like, wait, what? He's like, there's more than one super form, but you'll find that out when we start training. It's like, he goes, how many? You're like, just one more, but that's powerful. You need the emeralds for that. He's like, whatever, fine. Basically, he shakes his hand, and then he goes like, so, you can call me Fleetway still, but just know my memories are gonna be a little bit troubling for you. So, be ready, Izuku. Which, all of a sudden, he never really did say, only told Amy his name and stuff, but they never said they only said his name was Shadow. But his other name was, he doesn't want to remember, so it's confidential, but so he's like, how the, as in, all of a sudden, Fleetway, everyone can see just Fleetway leaving, Sonic, and going inside, Shadow, is basically, all of a sudden he gets all these memories. And what happened is why his parents died is because of Fleetway. Somewhat. It wasn't really because of him, but Shadow basically blocked out a memory that he didn't realize, that there was someone with swollen eyes and glowing energy there that was at the crash site of his parents. And the only reason why he was saved, too, basically was in the arms of this guy. And so, what happens is, when he basically seen the memories, it's seen this Sonic of the past, basically the first ever Sonic, the one who gave him, the DNA and such, was turned to super form, but had the swollen eyes a bit. He's like, basically, it's because of, technically, Shadow's father and mother knew this Sonic. They were friends, best friends. And so, what happens is, when basically some some random person who, because his parents had a quirk, actually one of his parents had a quirk, aka his father, they basically were trying to kill him, but they didn't know they were going to be a kid and a woman in the car. So, this Sonic, like the past Sonic, the first Sonic, found out, ran as fast as he could, and basically, he started to go into super form on the way, and right when the explosion happened, he was able to save, Shadow, aka Zuko at the time, and he had tears in his eyes, and he was like, Dad, Ma, but then, little Zuko get knocked out by him, and basically he just sees, and he's saying, damn it, damn it, damn it! Because he wasn't fast enough to save them. And then ever since then, he basically, he knew he was starting to lose it because he saw himself, and he knew he was going crazy because he thought about ending these people's lives. Because he found out, and then he realized, I'm changing. I'm becoming something who only wants to kill. So he basically helped, basically Dr. Inko, and, basically them to create artificial quirks. This is why it all began. And then when he sees, after the whole entire project happened, he basically sees that this Sonic went crazy. He was about to kill a whole entire friggin' block of people, including his wife and kid. Basically, they named his son Sonic Jr., but the thing is, before he even did that, he said, Sweetie, I'm sorry, but I'm going not to be around very much. In which he was like, dear, basically, blah, 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 why are you doing this? He was like, the chaos energy, it's changing me. It's turning me. It turned me into this. Don't blame no one. It was the first time it ever gave someone chaos energy. And so her eyes is widening, she's shocked, she's crying, and so he turns himself into a little chaos energy, and then seals himself basically into his child that was unconscious. And that's how then the whole entire Fleetway being passed down from generation to generation happens. Is that, Fleetway would disappear from the current Sonic's mind after he's not he's not needed no more, and then he'll appear in every Sonic, basically mind when they're at the age of 4. So, now, after that, Shadow's just holding his head. He's like, no way. How's that possible? Which, well, Fluid says, it is, kid. Trust me. You grew up so strong, Nezuko. I haven't seen you since you were 5. Oh, wait. Or was that 3? She's like, your uncle. He goes, yep. Uncle Speed. I'm glad you're okay. In which, then Sonic, passed out, but, his father caught him. In which he goes, Shadow, are you? And basically he opens his eyes, he goes, I'm fine. Just need to go. Which he, turns away and starts walking away. He's like, how? He's fine. So basically everyone can see it. Basically something's wrong with Shadow. So what it is when Shadow goes into the locker room, he's basically just starts to, cry because he forgot about his uncle. He didn't know what happened to him. He didn't know anything. He basically is just seeing all the memories of of his uncle now, and he's just freaking can remember his parents. He's like, oh, Dad, why those bastards? Basically he's just starting to not be like Shadow no more. He's starting to be like a Zuko, which is emotional somewhat. I mean, well, he was always Shadow, but it's just had the personality, but now he's just, a little more emotional. And then everyone in the class comes in, and they say, Shadow, as they see him just crying, basically. And Amy goes right over to him very quickly and hugs him and asks what's wrong. He was like, just got some memories. Some memories I chose to forget. Which, she goes, huh? And so he kind of explains who Fleetway is, which everyone is shocked because the first Sonic went down in legend as a hero. So to know that he became Fleetway Supersonic is a shocker, even to, well, even to Amy, Tails, and Knuckles. Even Sally, because she read up on him, always calls him destruction and becoming like a villain or something that was inside of the Sonic, every Sonic, basically. And he goes, yep, trying to teach them how to control their power and get stronger. Saying to him they're just weak. But anyways, turns out he is also my uncle. Which everyone shocked goes, does that mean, Tails goes like, oh, no. My father, before I became Aizawa became my father, he was friends with this Sonic at the time, and they treat each other like brothers. So I used to call him Uncle Speed. It's just it's just something I forgot. Which everyone's kind of happy, but then Tails asks, then Knuckles asks, so how is? Oh, he's fine. He reconstructed himself, but I think he's become now Fleetway Shadow instead of Fleetway Sonic. Which everyone kind of chuckles at that. And then all of a sudden his eyes go to a swirl, which everyone's like kind of backed away, but Amy's, even you're backed away too. And he goes like, don't worry, kids. I'm not gonna kill him or anyone here. Besides, I ain't gonna let my little nephew be upset anymore. I was hoping that dumb kid would be friends with him, but I felt his emotions, his jealousy, and I just had enough of it. Which, recently, I think Knuckles said, wait, how would you have known if he changed so much who he was? He's like, oh, he's a spitting image of his dad. So, I mean, even including the attitude. Like, what? So you knew just by that? He was like, uh huh. Also, as soon as Sonic saw him, I knew who he was right away. And I didn't think he could talk to me, so I was pretty surprised about that. Well, talk or see me. Which Tails was like, interesting, so you're the very first Sonic, and it's good to see my other best pal had a kid. Which he's like, He's like, oh yeah, I was friends with your great grandfather back when I was, well, alive. He's the one who basically found Angel Island, and we went to go see it. At that time, Dr. Eggman wasn't a bad guy-ish. He's like, huh? What do you mean? He's like, oh, I was friends with a lot of people, including him, but I forgot his name, what he went by. Oh, yeah, he went by Dr. Robotnik before Eggman. So, I mean, I was the one who caused him to become evil, but I was for his plans. And basically, it took a while for me to become what I was, as you saw. Always chaotic, wanted destruction, and wanted to kill everything in sight. But, well, I mean, that's because of who I am now, and because I want my grandchildren to become even stronger. But this one has a strong will, yes, but he's easily manipulative, doesn't like to do much, only likes to show off when he basically knows he can win or in general, and it's just irritating. Really irritating. It's like he only cares about, well, showing that he's the best instead of proving he's the best. Ugh. So at this point in time, I think Shadow can help. Well, or should I say? Actually, no, I'm not gonna say his name yet to you guys, unless he wants me to. Which he just says, it's fine. Go ahead, Uncle. He's like, alright, kiddo. So he was like, anyways, as he told me I could, he goes, as a Zuko, basically, he can help me out with teaching that brat some lessons. That he ain't strong just because of his name, or his title, or his given birthright. They all worked their butts off just to achieve what they've done. And besides, it sounds like great enemies coming here. I can feel it. If I had bones, I would say that, but I know it's coming. No supervillain of the past stays down forever. And so everyone's kind of shown up by this, and then, well, he's like, anyways, I have to get going. I gotta take a nap. Reform myself took a little bit of energy, and I'm tired now. And I'm not gonna let my nephew not have a date with his girlfriend now, will I? Which, all of a sudden, he disappears, which Shadow and Amy are blushing mad, bright red. Everyone is like, everyone's kind of like chuckling. Bago was just like laughing. Sally's just in shock. And so, basically, they did was the announcement of the winner was Shadow, but because of this brief thing that happened, they had to, do the ceremony a little bit later. So, Amy's like, it's like, yeah. Are you okay, Amy? She goes, uh-huh. You? He's like, I'm fine. No, I'm not, actually. She goes, you mean either. Want to hang out after this? Meet my parents? He's like, yep, I don't mind. I mean, I already know Aizawa. I'd rather meet your mom. He's like, alright. So, then the ceremony happens. Either gets the same call, basically blah, blah, blah. That goes the same. Sonic was in second, and... well, basically they had a three-way tie between Tails, Sally, and Bakugo. Bakugo accepted it from All Might pretty easily. So yeah. But anyways, Sonic is trying to... he was told by his father what happened. And who Fleetway really was, and he feels like he let down, because he thought he was becoming just like his grandfather. his great-great-grandfather, the very first Sonic, proving him right. I mean, proving him, to mean from heaven, basically, that he wanted to make him proud, but it turns out he was always with him, and he called him a monster and such now, and he just feels like crap. So, basically, Shadow just says, I don't really need this, but thank you. And he just commends Shadow on everything he's done and have an excellent control over his power. So, after that, everyone, changes, goes out, and then all of a sudden, Gun is there. Basically Chris, the leader. I mean, the general, basically. He's like, with Rouge. And, Shinzo's there, too. Basically, they're talking to Shinzo, which Amy and Shadow go over. He's like, hey, boss, what's up? He's like, Shadow. So, I heard what happened. Impressive. You have to keep Sonic in check now, right? He's like, which one? He's like, the old one, the very first one. He's like, yeah. Wait, you knew? He's like, oh, yes. I mean, how else do we think we have so much information on Sonic? We've been keeping an eye on him for a while. I mean, after the first time the second his child activated Fleetway's supersonic form, we've been keeping an eye on the family, and it seems like he kind of made a choice, and he's not going to regret it. Which Shadow just shrugs you like, yeah, pretty much. And Rouge told us who he is to you, so congratulations again, some family member. Well, I should say, friend of the family, around. It's surprising to even find that out. Someone was still alive from my time. He goes, So, are you wondering why we're here? It's like, yeah. Well, we think Shinzo could be an excellent addition to Gun when he's older. I mean, he can still try to become a hero, but he'll be working mainly for us. Which Shinzo's like, you serious? He's like, yes, every quirk has their ways to be in use. You could have been a great detective, or a policeman, interrogation officer or something. Both, you chose to be a hero, that's fine. That's excellent indeed, actually. So, we decided to help you achieve your dream. We'll basically have some people train you in combat, strategy, and how to use your quirk. And, we'll even have Aizawa to help out too. And maybe even Shadow every so often to test out your quirk on. He's like, I'm fine with that. He's like, alright. Now then, this is when you're older. This is all the information you need to know. Go take this to your parents. He's like, right, thank you. He's like, no problem. Anyways, excellent job again, Shadow. And let me ask you a question. He's, yes. Are you willing to do a little bit of a mission for us? He's like, what type of mission? He was like, a reconnaissance mission. Well, more likely, reconnaissance/retrieval. He's like, okay. You see, the Hero Killer stain has been around here, and the Hero Commission has asked us to take care of it. But the heroes do not know this, so I need to recon certain areas of the city and find out about, Stain. I mean, not Stain, the Hero Killer, I mean. They don't know who Stain is yet, so. No, they don't know his name, so they don't know him about the Hero Killer. So he's like, so you want me to find him and then capture him, and then what? Bring him to you guys? Or something? He's like, oh, no, just bring him to the authorities, basically. I don't know, I had trouble saying that word. He's like, alright, boss. Basically, then he looks, and you must be Amy Rose. He's like, yes, we met before. He's like, I know, I just didn't ever ask for your name before, but it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Rose. So, you did impressive on your fight. I would like to ask you, if you ever want to join Gun, basically we'll work on an arrangement for you. You have excellent potential, so it'd be nice to have you around. Anyways, that's all I wanted to do. Good day. And basically he leaves with the people that were watching. basically Shinzo asks, can I trust him? He's like, because he's looking at Shadow because he's been with them the longest. He's like, don't ask me. I just live in Japan. I do my work. And then Rouge says, you can trust them. They're really good people. I mean, they're really actually two good people. I was actually arrested once for robbery, and they bailed me out. Even if I said no, they kept on doing it just so I could gain they can gain my trust. But turns out they were just doing it because they couldn't see a kid in prison. Which Amy was like, wait, she was, I'm not gonna hide it to you if you join, but I actually don't care right now. So I'm an ex-thief. I steal jewelry. So yeah, basically, Shadow was like, and she's my partner, and because we both work for a gun. Basically, then all of a sudden, Knuckles appears with like, oi, Rouge. She's like, Nucky! Basically, she runs over and hugs him, and he's like, ugh. Really, Rouge? She goes, what? You don't miss me? He's like, ugh. Look, I know we met just last week and all. I mean, besides being in class, and I found out who you were. But look, I need your help trying to find a piece of the Master Emerald, alright? He's like, no problem, Nucky. She's like, it's Knuckles. He goes, what? Doesn't matter to me. He's like, alright. Oh, hey, Shadow. He's like, hey, I was wondering just about that. How many pieces have you found? He was like, about 20. It's about 45 pieces. He's like, huh. Really? He's like, It's like, well, good luck to that. He's like, thanks. Anyways, see you around. So basically, him and Rouge leave because it's going to be a weekend, so they have time. And so Amy and Shadow are just there. She's like, so, ready to meet my parents? He goes, well, I mean, parent. She's And he just picks her bridal style, and she's like, he's like, it's faster this way. She was like, okay, just, as she basically puts her bag on, well, not so that it doesn't hit his face, but it'll be right again. So when he runs, the bag will be right in his chest or something. It's just their bag for like changing clothing for the sports festival. So yeah, and basically he just runs home, and then all of a sudden, when he gets there, he sees when he gets home, he opens the door. He sees a man with a mustache, no hair, and a lab coat with glasses on, talking to Inko, basically. And he was like, and so that's what I came up with, the idea of a particle accelerator that would, well, increase potatoes rapidly growing. He's like, interesting. He's like, yes it is. So, this must be, well, your son. He's that you've been talking about, Inko. He's like, Basically, Shadow puts down Amy. Amy has her bag, and he's like, Mom, who is? He was like, oh, sweet, this is my mentor and a longtime friend of mine, Ivo Robot. I mean, not Ivo Robot, Dr. Ivo. And he's like, basically, he's like, hello there, Shadow. It's a pleasure to meet you. It really is. So, if you're probably wondering why I came over here, just to chat with her to see how she's doing. And to maybe meet you. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, there's a problem here that's happening that I need to ask you for your assistance. He's like, and for gun. Which his eyes widen. And that's where we're gonna leave it off, everyone. I know it's a cliffhanger, but it's almost 30 minutes. So, and I have not much storage to be saved, for this video. So I'll probably make part 5. No, I'll probably make part 6 later tonight. Alright? Okay, bye everyone. Have a nice day and night wherever you are. Bye.